Hello, my name is David Webb and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first and I have a balanced rack of 4 consonants and 3 vowels. I do however have 2 I's and a Y, so I don't think I have a bingo, but Yoni is good, and the leave of IST is also good. But I now have 3 I's on my rack, which isn't good. But the consonants are bingo-y consonants, so I ought to be able to resolve this rack. My main aim is to play off 2 of the I's. But how can I do that? Well, this isn't easy. Gosh, how can I play off 2 I's? I feel there ought to be a way of doing this. But I'm struggling to see it. I might have to settle for keeping 2 I's on my rack and dealing with that problem on my next go. If I can't use 2 I's, can I put my T on the end of Joe to make Jot? The word would have to end A-T. Nope, I can't see a way of doing that. Well, this is hard. I'm reluctant to use my S. Not least because even if I do use my S, I don't think I can use 2 of the I's. Well, I am really struggling to find a good move. I'm thinking about playing Adits, but that is just a terrible leave, 2 I's, and it only scores 24 points. But 24 points and leaving 2 I's is better than changing. Well, I'm sure I've missed something better. And I do draw a further I, so the misery continues. On the plus side, my opponent is only 18 points ahead. But looking at this rack, I'm going to struggle to play off 2 I's, but do I need to? Let's see what this scores. 33 points is a good score. I can't see anything better, and IN isn't a terrible leave. The N actually helps the two I's. Great, I draw the blank and the Z, and no more I's. Is this light at the end of the tunnel? I do have the IZE suffix on my rack. So I have feminise through the E of toggle. Yes, that just fits in. Do I have anything else? It would be nice to play through the H of hide, but I would expect my opponent to take that out with his move. And I can't see a bingo through that H. So is there anything better than feminise? Okay, I can't see any other bingos. So if my opponent takes out the E of toggle, what should be the non-bingo play that I make? I notice that AD takes a Z on the end to make adds. So I could play Zein, Z-E-I-N. Okay, my opponent does take out the E of toggle, but he adds an E in emu that I can use. And this is nice, because I'm also obstructing my opponent's use of the H in hide to reach the triple word square at A15. So feminise, 90 points, that is a big score. Great, and I pick up a balanced rack. If an A is played, I've got archival. If a Y is available, I have chivalry. Unfortunately, the Y in Yoni does not enable me to play chivalry using it. Now, well, I was just contemplating putting my C next to the H of hide, but my opponent takes that spot. So I don't have a bingo that I can see, but I do have high scoring tiles. I can't make use of the triple word square at A15. Well, I could play something like R or R high, but that leaves the C and the V, and it would be nice to play off the V. I could play Via and Jota, but that leaves 4 consonants, which risks having an all consonant or an unbalanced consonant heavy rack next go. So what can I do with this rack? I could play Cha, C-H-A, and Jota for 25 points. It keeps the V, but the rack leave of I-L-R-V isn't disastrous. Right, I'm struggling to see anything better than CHA. And it does have some nice defensive properties. This doesn't feel great. I don't really like keeping the V on my rack. And a score of 25 points isn't a huge score. But I can't see anything better. Well, that is a nice pickup. A, E, I, a great set of 3 vowels to have. There are very few floaters on the board. So do I have a 7-letter word? It feels very close to a bingo, because without the V, I have 6 very bingo-prone tiles. Well, I can't see a 7-letter bingo, and the floaters are the I of adits, the U of emu, and that's about it. I could put the V on the end of RE to make rev. So let's see what this looks like. ARIT is quite a nice leave. I would prefer to keep the E. And I don't really like putting the E above a double letter square. What about playing Lev down here? It's only 22 points. There are a lot of A's in the bag. That's 23 points. So is that better than the rev play? Very difficult to say, but with so many A's out there, I think I prefer playing lever rather. Okay, I don't draw an A, and I do not have a good rack. The duplicate U is a real problem, and it's compounded by the duplicate R. My opponent quickly plays Reft for only 11 points, which is good. Right, what should I do? I do have the prefix out. But I can't see a good place to utilize that. I've only got less than 8 minutes on the clock, and there are 38 tiles in the bag, and I have a slim lead of 29 points. This board is looking quite tight. There are very few plays which can be made. And all my letters have 1 point, so I'm not going to score well wherever I play. Now this keeps the duplicate R, which is not good, and it doesn't score well, but it certainly resolves the U problem, and it obstructs my opponent's use of the triple word square at A15. I draw a third R to go with the 2 that I kept, which was always the risk. I do have work. But if I play work, I'm keeping 2 R's. I am 42 points ahead, which is good, and there are few opportunities on this board. My opponent's play of reft actually obstructed a bingo lane in row C, so he's inhibited his own chances of catching me. But 42 points is not a strong lead. Okay, my opponent plays snap for 24 points. I'm not sure there's going to be anything better than work. And work scores 31 points, which is good. And I draw the second blank, so I've been fortunate with the blanks in this game. I have opened a bingo lane in row M, but AW does not take an S after it, which is good for me. With only one vowel and the LNRR combination of consonants, I'm very unlikely to have a bingo. I certainly can't see one. BRR is a word. That would resolve the consonant heaviness of the rack, but L and N are not a great pair of consonants to keep. If my opponent plays underneath work, we may be able to, or I may be able to add to that to create like a diagonal heading down towards the bottom right, which inhibits bingo plays. And I think a bingo is the only way my opponent is going to catch me. This is looking like another tight board, which could be a problem given my shortage of time. The Q is the only one of the 4 really high scoring tiles that's out there. Well, my opponent scores 27 points, which is good, but he burns an S in achieving that. So what should I do? I think I need to obstruct that S. The problem with this is that it really doesn't score well, and I don't want my opponent to have the opportunity of catching me without playing a bingo. Okay, Burls, well, 8 points is just atrocious. Gosh, I think I do need to obstruct that S. Yeah, I think that's actually okay. I do have the blank, so I've got some ammunition. I've got a braden through the T of reft. That does open up a 9 timer and floaters. Great. I think it's only the 9 timer which is going to be problematic, and they don't happen. Ah, that's good. I can't count. It doesn't create a 9 timer opportunity. There we go. A braden, 72 points. Yeah, I'm fortunate that that plays. That was the only floater on the board. And I draw a pretty good rack. I draw the final S, and I have a balanced rack. The W and the P mean I probably don't have a bingo, but I am looking through the floaters in a braden in case I do. No, I can't see a bingo, but I ought to be able to score well. There are 8 tiles in the bag, 7 on my opponent's rack, and I've got just over 4.5 minutes. There are very few scoring opportunities on this board, so if my opponent does not play a bingo, he's likely to be playing in and around a braden, which will be inhibiting his own abilities to come back with a bingo. If he's got the Q, he may choose to play QI through the Eye of Adits. Well, he does have the Q, but he plays something better. He gets 34 points. He's only 40 points behind. But at this stage of the game, that ought to be enough. So 5 tiles left. I could do with playing off 4 of mine. Well, I'm wondering if I can pluralize caddies and get either the P or the W on the triple letter square at F2. That would be a pretty good score. It would be nice to, in addition, play both the P and the W, but that might be too much to ask for. Okay, let's see what this looks like. That's 28 points. Maybe it's better to put the W on the triple and retain the P for score in my next move. But can I do that? Well, I could play Poets with the P in that spot and retain the W for score. AW is a reasonable leave. Poets 32 points, that's a good score. And my rack's deteriorating, but as I'm 70 points ahead, that doesn't really matter. With the W and the Y, there should be scoring opportunities. Right, there are no tiles left in the bag, So that was a slight misjudgment on my part. I was aiming to leave 1 in the bag. So if my opponent did play a bingo now, he would win. And that would be a bad mistake on my part. But looking at his letters with the duplicate O, duplicate R and the V, I don't think he does have a bingo. So a narrow escape for me. So where can I play my W or Y to good effect? Well, there's the O of poets, which takes a W or a Y underneath it. That could certainly be used. I'll have to see what my opponent plays, in the sense that I will know whether he can go out in 1 move after he's made his play, because that will influence what I should be doing with my rack. There is the double letter square by the A of caddies, where I could put the Y. But away from that top left area of the board, I think there are very few opportunities. I could just put the Y on A15, but the F is in Feminize is a blank, so that would only score 12 points. Okay, my opponent plays cover for 12. He leaves LOR, so I need to see if he can go out with LOR in 2 places. Well, he can play roll through the E of cover. I'm not sure he can play out anywhere else. Yes, he can. He could play LOR underneath poets, making po and or. Okay, so he can go out, so I am looking to maximise my score with this rack. So WAY. How does that work? 26 points. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything better than that. I'm expecting my opponent to go out now. And he does. Right, well that was an interesting game. I did win, but by a fairly small margin. The poet's play was certainly an error. I should have left 1 in the bag, but I, on this occasion, was not punished for that blunder. I think there were quite a few other interesting spots. It was good to get my bingos down. Braden and Feminize, they were both nice bingos to have. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.